Sorry, we were delayed a little bit by the traffic jam. And okay, so uh, here's what we're gonna do. We have received your submission. Some of it were really good, some of it were decent, some of it were not so good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna randomly call on some of your classmates to present, and while they present, we'll ask them to share the screen. Let me just remind Pradeep. Can you get ready to join your screen to share your screen? Pradeep, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, get ready to share your screen. And
Yes,
while
sir.
Pradeep is presenting, we'll name someone who's going to go next, and then get ready, and you'll start your presentation. Remember this presentation is not meant for marking. Uh, this is just to show you what your classmates have done, and um, also again for you to be prepared for a presentation, and communication skills, things like that, and also to make sure you submit your assignment. So this is not meant for marking. The marking will come from your submission. Remember that very clearly. The marking will come from your submission. Just because you don't present or present uh, doesn't mean you will get extra marks or less marks. This presentation is merely a random choosing, which doesn't carry any marks. Your marks will come from your submission. Okay, so Pradeep,
Yes, sir.
can you share your screen now?
Yes, sir.
And again, most of your standard study, especially your standard study, will be the same. So it doesn't make sense if all of you present. So that is why we choose very small amount of students randomly. Yeah. Okay, Pradeep, you can
Yes, sir.
start.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. My name is Pradeep. Firstly, my topic is bed and breakfast. Firstly, I tell about bread and breakfast instruction. Bread and breakfast is a small accommodation that offers overnight accommodation in and breakfast. And second, bread and breakfast are often private family houses and have to between 4 to 11 rooms uh, minimum and average 6 rooms. And the second types of bread and breakfast, there are six types: homestay. And first is homestay. Homestay is an owner occupied home where guests share the living and dining areas. Farm stay is a fully hosted rural accommodation. And third one is ing. This is owner occupied and provides separate living and dining areas. And fourth one is country house. This is owner occupied and usually serves dinner. And fifth one is cottages. This is self catering and self contained accommodation. And sixth one is apartments. This is self contained and provide breakfast and breakfast provisions for the guest to prepare. And bread and breakfast to provide accommodation, breakfast, and other services like gift house, a restaurant, or cafe. Uh, it depends on guest income. Additional services can be provided, such as hot tubs, private baths, and private decks, and rental uh, vehicles. And bedroom furniture requires as a complete bed and a table and bed lamp, dressing table, mirror, dustbin, bed lamp, internet or Wi-Fi connection, TV, audio system, and etc. Um, some categories are in bed and breakfast, like private homes, family run operations, commercial operations, and other variations like a houseboats and rental tents and camping trailers, etc. Firstly, I explain uh, private homes. Truly, bread and breakfast falls into this category, and it usually consists of home situated in residential area with one or two families. Uh, Run the business. Bedrooms are aside for guests and breakfast. And secondly, family run operations. It is consists of small lodges or inns that are owned and operated by a host family. uh, these hosts live on site and might join the guest for breakfast. Commercial operations like it consists of blocks of apartment suites. These operations have some forms of lobby or front desk. It built in order to attack marketplace, and breakfast can be varied from coffee and etc. And other variations like these offers varieties of unusual sleepiness accommodation followed by farewell standard breakfast. And these are uh, home boats, camping trails, and vehicles and tents have been offered as big bread and breakfast. BNB. BNB standard requirements to run. Firstly, to determine the how many beds will be available for. Uh, we are allowed to rent to three outsiders without needing state approval. And second one is to construct to obtain a permit from our your office to document the plan will be here to state law. And the NFPA 101 life security code. This is permit is called construction permit. And third one is to consider the list of basic requirements for new or expandable uses of rooms and lodges like home uh, carbon monoxide system and fire alarm system and protect of uh, vertical openings. And fourth one is to additional to be fire life safety requirements as per licenses, etc. And the history of bread and breakfast is have been around a long time. This bread and breakfast is usually originated in US and UK. After that, the Second World War in 1940s, many people are offered rooms in the homes and served breakfast to overnight guests in America. And bread and breakfast is in India. The government is providing to concept of bread and breakfast to increase tourism, and they have clarified B&Bs in two categories like gold, and second one is silver. Uh, all bread
Hello, Pradeep. Can others hear me?
Yes, sir.
B&B services to provide
Okay.
offering the standard services. These are and
Okay, Pradeep, okay,
yes, sir.
can we just stop you there? Anchal, get ready for your presentation after this one, after Pradeep. Anchal, can you hear?
Yes,
May I
yes.
stop, sir?
Okay, Pradeep, you may continue.
Yes. And this is the literature case study, and the standard study is uh, first one is bed, and this is dining tables and chairs, and this is bedside table and bedside lamp, and this is cupboard, this is coffee table and dressing tables and sofas, and this is over the standard studies. That's it. So
Pradeep,
yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
um, what about the area requirement for a single bed or a double bed? Have you come across that area?
Measure dimensions, ma'am.
Yeah.
A single bed is 900 into
No,
1900.
I mean the size of the room,
Size
the
of the room.
minimum size of the room. Yeah.
Minimum size. I did
For
not measure.
example, if I ask you to do a B&B for three beds,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Three bedrooms. So, in order for you
Uh,
to know the approximate
yes, ma'am.
area,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
yeah, you have to know that
Yes,
the
ma'am.
space that you need to provide, right?
Yes, ma'am. This is
And also,
2000 per.
your voice was breaking when you were talking about the gold and silver category. Can you please
Yes,
explain
ma'am.
that again?
Silver and gold. Yes, ma'am. This one, ma'am. Hello.
Yes. Yes, that part.
Yes, ma'am. They are in bed and breakfast is two categories. One is gold and another one is silver. And these categories are based on to approve the Ministry of Tourism, who will then categories it is gold or silver based on the list of predefined category. Yes, ma'am.
So, what is the main difference between the gold and the silver? What is the predefined criteria?
This is room size and what provide.
So, what is the difference? What is the difference? Okay, what is the difference in room size for silver and for gold P&B? Okay, please find that out again. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So next student, Anchal, was it?
Yes,
Anshal,
ma'am.
yes, it is. May I add
Yes,
one comment on Pradeep's presentation?
yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Uh, Pradeep, you
Yes, sir.
mentioned something about farm stay. This goes for you all. This shows the variation of, if you think about it, B&B is just a small space. So you might think there could be very few variation, but that shows how many variations there could be. Farm stay, it depends. So for example, a farm stay, let me read, a fully hosted rural accommodation. So this goes hand in hand with agrotourism, which means that you could go to someone's farm and help them in either planting seeds or plowing the fields, things like that, which brings a completely different experience. So this shows the variation. A B&B is not just simply a bed and breakfast where you go stay, go do your shopping and then comes back and things like that. It's not just that. This shows there could be B&B could offer so many variations, and it will depend on your site context. This shows how much your site context could change your design. Okay, that is all from me. Anshal,
May I stop, sir?
yes, you may.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, is it visible?
Yes, it is, but very small. Why is it so small? It's from your phone, right?
Yes, sir. Sir, is it fine now?
Now it's better. Yeah, it's better.
Okay, sir.
And after
Uh,
this, Sinan, can you hear me? Sinan, can you hear me? Sinan, can you hear me, Sinan? Sinan, can you hear me?
He has left the meeting.
Okay. Anchal,
Oh, now
go
he
ahead,
has
present.
joined.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Sinan, sorry. Anchal, you may start.
Okay, sir. Sir, a bed and breakfast, often abbreviated as B&B, is a business that accommodated overnight guests and offer a breakfast menu. They traditionally take the form of a large family home with a limited number of rooms. Unlike hotels, a B&B usually only hosts guests for a short period, typically overnight, as opposed to accommodating individual interests in a longer stay. How does a B&B work? A bed and breakfast offer hospitality services on a personal level. In most cases, the limited number of people they accommodate allows to establish a stronger connection with their guests. For example, if a guest has dietary restrictions, room preferences, or physical limitations, the host can make necessary preparations to make their stay more comfortable. Though many bed and breakfasts are run entirely by the owners, it's not uncommon for them to hire a small staff. Now, the bed and breakfast versus hotel. A bed and breakfast offer a significantly different type of experience that most hotels, motel, or inns. Some of the things seems similar due to the nature of the hospitality business. Staying at a B&B is unique for a variety of reasons. The first reason is the atmosphere. One of the most striking difference between a bed and breakfast and a hotel is the atmosphere. The sense of privacy is retained. Host and their guests are likely to have a good relationship. Then a hotel is considerably larger and hold far more people, making it difficult to establish a connection with each guest. And the next one is the amenities. The amenities offered by bed and breakfast features a personal touch that you wouldn't get from a hotel. Instead of focusing on the luxury and extravagance that some hotels seek to attain, most B&B aims to make guests feel at home during their stay. It's common for hosts to arrange gift baskets with local products, cater to guest preferences, and even decorate room for special occasions. And the next one is food. As its name suggested, one of the primary functions of a bed and breakfast is breakfast. Most hotels typically offer a continental breakfast consisting of light pastries, fruit, coffee, and tea. At B&B, however, breakfast is typically homemade and consists of a variety of comfort food or home-style breakfast dishes. The contents of a bed and breakfast menu depends on the variety of factors, including the host preferences, the B&B location, and the availability of the ingredients. And this is the diagram of Burgeoning O. Swell second offer a little special accommodation during its active time. It was anchored in the Elks Inlet. Now it is a B&B in the port of Cuxhaven. Some of the studies of B&B shows that the key needs that must be met for people staying at bed and breakfast style accommodation include pampering and personalized service in an attractive location house opposed to more standard hotel room. The following attributes are also appealing. The first one is homely or wholesome atmosphere or luxurious heritage surrounds home. The next one is home style meal area for conversing with other guests, availability to tap into local knowledge of attraction and activities in local area. The friendliness of the host was the most important factor, followed by the easy access to other
Anchal,
places. Yes,
Anchal,
sir. Yes, sir.
before you finish, may I interrupt? The the thing about presentation is that, first of all, it's a presentation. It's not a, it's, it's not a reading competition or anything. So the way you present is very important. So even if you have lots and lots of text, you have to present, and for you to present in such a way that we would be interested in what you're trying to say, or what what message you're trying to convey. So if you're going to read out the whole thing, it's not interesting. So that is something that you have to learn. Try to pick out the points which you want to say, even though, yeah, there could be some so many texts, and we did ask you not to put too much text, uh, and even though you did, doesn't mean that you have to read the whole thing out. Try to present it in a way that, maybe a summary or things in a way that we would be interested in your presentation. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir, may I continue?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Sir, so the following attributes are also appealing, like in a BNB, in a BNP, people generally used to go there because of their comfortness and the friendly environment. And the visitors have the opportunity for relaxing break in homely environment, and operators have the opportunity to develop port- a profitable business, and it makes so that they can make new friends and understand the culture of each other. And then this is the size. These are the sizes of the bed which I used to mention. Like the bed is the most important part of a bed and breakfast, because because they provide overnight stay. So this is important, and um, depending on the requirement of the client, the size of beds are provided. It can be single bed or double bed. And this is the dining table. The dining table which is used to serve breakfast in the morning. That's it, sir.
Okay. Um, since Sinan cannot respond, we could call upon Lalrem Sang si again. Lalrem Sang si again.
Yes, sir. Sir, is my screen visible?
No, not yet. I think. Okay. Now it's becoming visible.
And first, literature case study. So, the term bed and breakfast first evolved in England, in Scotland, and Ireland. B&B have been recognized in many well-known countries like Europe and USA. Therefore, it is believed that B&B is not a new concept. According to studies, monasteries used to serve bread and breakfast, spending in native people's house rather than hotels for travelers, and they still do in some parts of the world. That's how the B&B gets gets started. And there are few types of B&Bs. The first one is homestay or host stays. In this type of establishment, the houses are occupied by the owners, and rooms are often rented to provide additional revenue to its owners. And total number of room availables are 1 to 3, and services are served by the owners in self-serve breakfast. And the second one is bed and the breakfast is the typical one. Most establishments using B&B use whereas a single family residence. Lodgings are often purchased for their allocations with converting into a bed and breakfast. They are mainly owner occupied with more attention to renting of guest accommodations. The number of room availables are here 4 to 5, and services are served, breakfast and guest service may be available. And the third one is bed and breakfast cottages. These type are attached outbuildings or cottage which offer more privacy to guests and often allow families in need to share accommodations. The owner provide cleaning service and often area or location guidance, but typically have less interactions with the guests. So the room availables are just one plus and a service, overnight guest serve breakfast and cleaning services. And the fourth one is bed and breakfast hotels. These type of establishments are large with historic dwellings offering the atmosphere and service of a typical bed and breakfast. The accommodation offer public dinings and extended service. Most of them are very large in nature, requiring extended staff and service. And the room availables are 30 and above. Services, extended food service, and hosting of special events is typically available. And the fifth one is country inn. In this type of accommodation model offers overnight lodgings and are similar to bed and breakfast inns. The guest meals are included in the accommodation price. These establishments offer their dining service to the general public areas. Number of room availables are from 4 to 40, and services are extended food service and hosting of special events is typically available. And here I have how to start a break and breakfast. Here are some important points. The first one is identify a property. Identify property. If we don't own a property for ourselves, we have to find for it, and we have to know the size of the house and should be essential to the building. And the second one is renovate. If we have our own property, we can make some changes, but if we don't have or have to look for a new place, we will have to make some changes like buying a new furniture or buying a fresh paint coat and installing private bathrooms and etc. And the third one is establish a menu. After we have finished with all the furniture and stuff, we have to create a menu. The food that appears on the daily menu very depending on the preferences of the host as well as the guests. Creating a unique menu to set yourself apart from other similar business. The fourth one is hiring staff. It is possible to take care of every task on your own or with a business partner, but if we have more guests, it will be like a lot of work to do. So we have to consider hiring a staff. And the last one is listing our business. Once it is ready to open, we should take time to list and advertise it. And there are some websites where we can do that, and we can establish our own website also. And for my standard case study, I only focus on the bedroom part. The average room size for a twin bedroom would be 10.3 meters square. A double room would be 8.4 meters square, and a single room would be 5.6 meters square. And I have 3 beds, single bed, double bed, and a long single bed. And there need to be a wardrobe and 2 nightstands on each side of the bed. And if there's enough space, a writing table and a chair, a dressing table, and a television, a removable television, if the guest prefers not to have it. And I use a scale of 1:50. That's all for my presentation, sir.
Okay, Rimsangi.
what is the reason why why you have done a standard study only for the bedroom? Because you know what a B&B is, right?
Yes,
So
miss.
it has to have kitchen, it has to have dining space, it has to have a living space as well, right?
Yes, miss.
So will that information that you have collected enough for designing a B&B?
No, miss, but
That goes for
our
Angel, all right? Angel, just having the bed size and the dining table size is not enough, all right? Here. So you have to work more on your standard study, all right?
yes,
Include
miss.
all the things that you feel necessary for designing a B&B, all right? Not just
Miss.
about the bedroom. Now you have mentioned that, you know, the breakfast will be served. They will not be served in their bedrooms, right? They
Yes, miss.
usually have a shared kitchen and a dining room, right?
Yes, miss.
Yes. Okay. Apart from that, your work is good. Okay. I think next student can continue, sir.
Thank
Uh,
you.
uh, Valal Duoma Varte. Valal Duoma Varte.
Yes, sir.
Can you start sharing your screen?
Okay. So this is my literature part. So I haven't written much. So it's just like a conclusion of my classmates. So bed and breakfast is, as you know, also known as B&B, and it is firstly practiced during the 90s in from the Britain, and an accommodation offered by an inn or hotel, or especially, as we know, private homes. So inns are in the original meanings of inn was, you know, lodging and food for travelers. So B&B usually contains 4 to 11 rooms, and the price range differs where you want a breakfast or just a night stay, and the room usually contain bathrooms and toilets. So B&B, as we know, usually conduct as a private residence. They have a main lounge area and kitchen, and B&B are not, you know, are not just ideal, but, you know, very budget friendly too than an expensive hotel. And so you can continue your journey the next day. So as Pradeep has said before, India, the government is promoting the concept of B&B to increase tourism and depends of hotel during 2010 Commonwealth Games Delhi. So the classification of B&B is two categories, gold and silver. So all B&B must be approved by the Ministry of Tourism, who will then categorize it as per defined criteria. So gold and silver is usually classified. So silver, it's around it's classified as a price. So silver, it's around 3,000, and gold is around 5,000. So that's for my literature part, and this is my standard study. So I have a best size of king, queen, double, and single. So there are room size standard two for single, double, triple, quad, queen, king, twin, suite, residential suite, and apartment, room, extend, villa. So the bottom three will not be suitable for the B&B, but I have put in it. So there are nightstands, two wardrobes, dressing table, dining table for 2-seater, 4-seater, 6-seater, and 8-seater, table and chair for the room, sofa, coffee table, door sizes, WC, and the kitchen layout and standard of cupboard. So best side, dining table and doors are, like a standard side, but dressing table, nightstand, wardrobe, and some other stuff, coffee table, can be adjustable as per the room side. So that's for my presentation, I think.
Okay, Doma, have you mentioned the width of your kitchen counter?
No, ma'am. I have put only the section.
So do you know the standard width of it? The standard depth
Depth,
of the kitchen counter? Yeah, of a kitchen counter.
I think it's 60 inches.
60 inches? 60 centimeter, right?
Yes.
That means
yes,
2
60
feet.
centimeter.
Mm. It is to be at least 2 feet, right? That is the standard.
Yes.
Okay, and you were talking about, yeah, the one that I have asked Pradeep regarding the silver and gold.
Mm.
So a silver category falls under the 3,000
Yes.
rupees, right?
Yes.
So
Around
what is the extra facility that the gold have that the silver doesn't? Why is it costlier? What is the the extra facility that is being provided to the gold?
I think it will depend upon the B&B, so they can have a better furnitures in it, and they can have bathtubs in the room too. So other than
Yeah, I think it's better that don't just think, try to make sure, all right? Like the extra facilities that is being provided, all right? Or maybe the room space is bigger than the silver.
yes.
So maybe in terms of all the extra facilities, please try to find that out as well. All right.
Okay, miss.
Okay. So do we call another student, sir?
I don't know. I think we could share the brief design brief now.
Okay. Just before sharing the brief, what I would like to ask other students is, have you collected any information which the 5 students have presented, right? So have you collected any other information apart from what has been presented? If so, please share it with your classmates, please. Anyone who would like to present, because he or she has collected an additional information which she or he needs to highlight. That is most welcome. Anyone?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
There was one thing that I studied. There was actually a study done in Queensland, and it stated like why B&B is getting more popular than the hotel beside the price point. And the thing was, since these B&Bs are opening in a lot rural and local areas, in which like if you go to a hotel, you can't actually see how the people live. So one of this thing was to actually examine the lifestyle from their home and provide like a homely atmosphere and a kind of a communication factor. So like some tourists who actually want to study more about the lifestyle and the local facilities, they can actually rent a B&B, which is also cost efficient, but is also a very good cultural manner.
Yes, that is one of the interesting aspects of a B&B, right? Because it is different from a normal hotel, right? It's more homely. You can study more about the culture. You can study more about the lifestyle of that particular community, right? Since the owner will be staying along with you, right? So that is one thing that is an important aspect of the B&B. Okay, thank you, Aditya, for mentioning that. Anyone else? Like regarding the standard study, maybe you have collected more standards. Anyone? None? Okay, we will be marking you based on what you have submitted, but however, you can improve your submissions, all right? From today's discussion, you can always improve your submission, all right? Maybe if you want to add more, more details or collect more information, but however, it cannot be, the same marks as the timely submission, all right? Clear? If you want to improve your marks, you can redo your sheets, right? That is always open for all the assignments. But note that that would not be the same as the timely assignment markings, right? So I think from those presentations and from those studies of literature and standard, we know that there are important criteria that needs to be addressed in designing a BNB, right? First, I think you have to closely address the circulation as well, because you need to maintain privacy. But maintaining a privacy is also really tricky. So you want to make it homely, but however, you need to control that privacy as well, right? So controlled privacy is one of the challenge that you will be dealing with in this project, right? Any questions before we introduce the brief? Is